Your initial investment in the RV lifestyle will set the standard for your minimalistic life. You're going to build on a foundation. And if you get into this life, try to do it for a couple years without upgrading your vehicle. The ability to keep it simple, to live a minimalistic life, and to really get in tune with the lifestyle rather than the branding of the lifestyle is key. In the past 3 years, as I have documented me living as a full-time nomad, living out of my car, my Jeep that I make this video in, I sold my home, I got rid of all my belongings, and I got into this lifestyle for the flexibility to be able to change states, change geographic locations, and live a minimalistic life, live below my means, get more control of my life. Almost, though, as a transitional state, not necessarily as a permanent state, because I did initially think I would probably get a home base quicker, and I still at times look at a home base, purchasing some property, and it's mainly centered around an RV lot. Because as you get older, you do think about adding balance to your life, a little more stability, having a home base. You get a little bit burnt out on the road. Nothing is perfect. Extreme temperature makes you a little bit upset. And valid points on getting off the road, some of which I mentioned. And there's valid points in sometimes owning property at the right price in the right area. But I do want to say that I know now it's starting to end a trendy lifestyle of the nomadic life, the nomad life, the full-time RVer or traveler. It's kind of like peaking. The coronavirus kind of pushed RV lifestyle to a peak. So even though it's more popular than ever, I see it at a peak point. I do, in my opinion. I could be wrong. But I still think it's a great lifestyle. A lot of times at the peak, you'll say, all right, it's played out. For some people, the nomad life is played out or doesn't have enough pros versus cons. But for able body, able mind, a person that's adaptive, I think that's the number one quality you need to be a nomad, adaptive. I don't think you need to be a rocket scientist. I don't think you need to be He-Man or Wonder Woman. I just think you need a healthy mind, body, and a person that has a passion to do it. Okay, you have to have some drive, or else it's like anything in life. If you get into something and you really don't want to do it, you're always going to resent it because you didn't want it. Sometimes I think about that with trying to get my mom to come down to Florida. She really doesn't want to go. So you always, you don't want to force someone to do something because they'll throw it back in your face. But I'm saying this to say that I still believe for some people, living as a nomad out of your car, van, or RV is a great lifestyle. The flexibility is unmatched. The key aspect is to keep it simple. My biggest recommendation for anyone out there thinking of selling their house or getting out of their lease and living as a full-time nomad, my biggest recommendation for the vast majority of people is start living out of the car you already own. Car or van, don't buy a new one. If you are going to buy an RV, keep it under $20,000 and try to keep it closer to $10,000. Your initial investment in the RV lifestyle will set the standard for your minimalistic life. You're going to build on a foundation. And if you get into this life, try to do it for a couple years without upgrading your vehicle. The ability to keep it simple, to live a minimalistic life, and to really get in tune with the lifestyle rather than the branding of the lifestyle is key. It's like, if you're getting into this just because it's a fad, or you're trying to have everything in your house just on wheels. And if you don't move, if there's a hurricane and you don't move, if there's a disaster and you don't move, if you're loitering and you don't move, if the cop asks you to move, the whole point of living as a nomad is that your house is on wheels. But for the person that doesn't have an adaptive mind, it doesn't matter. Isn't that amazing? That, many people say, I love the fact that you can get up and start your car or start your RV at any time and leave. But what I've experienced is still the vast majority of nomads, if they have an issue, they won't leave. There's something to be said that humans are creatures of habits. Their house is on wheels, but they're stuck in their mind. Their mind is in a foundation, sometimes not a good foundation. Their vehicle's on wheels, but their mind can't go. Sometimes there's a financial issue. There's some people that are destitute in this lifestyle, but I've shared with you tips. Look, you get the 1,000 Trails Pass, not the membership. You basically pay $50 a month, and even though they're not luxury resorts, they're not everywhere. Location matters a little bit depending on where you live. At least you have some place of refuge. Is the nomadic life, I don't even like that word nomadic. I would just say the nomad life. I do like nomad. I still think it's a great life for people that are able-bodied, able-mind. I still think it's always a transitional life or a part-time life. We've made it full-time, some of us, 1% of society, even as it peaks. It's still not vast majority. I think the key to the nomad life is keep it simple. And it starts and ends with your vehicle, with your RV or regular car. Nothing will ruin your experience, your time, your journey than getting caught in the camper consumerism. Camping World, publicly traded company. Is that bad? No, it's not bad, but I think not only are housing prices, house prices are overpriced, RV prices, and there are some, simple vehicles out there, whether regular cars or RVs, that have amenities, but you have to discipline yourself. It's not easy. So, I want to live on my terms. That's the bottom line. Look, I want to live in Florida, definitely in the winter. I like to come up north for the fall. I like to be on wheels. I don't like to be committed to things. I don't want to be on the hook to other people financially, emotionally. That's who I am. And that's why the nomad lifestyle helps me, because I can do that. Now, I know that you can't live life without the help of other people. I know that, we're all connected. I know the whole thing, and that's the valid point to that. But I have no issue with that, but I need a certain amount of time to myself to focus on my goals, my mission. What's the difference between a laser and a light focus? How do you break your personal focus? You don't have enough time for yourself. You don't have enough control of your finances. You don't have enough control of your time. You're living on someone else's terms. The only time you should give up your time and your energy is when you're being compensated financially, or you've had so much alone time that now you have extra capacity to volunteer for free. And what I could tell you is on the weekend, when you own a home, you work on your house. What I can tell you is if you have an overpriced RV, you're spending just as much as if you lived in a house. What I can tell you is if you have a travel trailer, you're now married to campgrounds. Keep it simple. My number one piece of advice to all my nomads out there, future, present, past, keep it simple. I think that's a great testimony. Even if you go into the home buying thing, even if I buy a home base, I tell myself, keep it simple. That's another thing I'll share. If you get a home base, keep it simple. I'm not saying, live dirt cheap, live in poverty per se. I just say, and I tell you, increase your revenue. Live up to your potential. Don't just quit your job. Apply for a promotion. Keep showing up. But keep it simple. Don't get caught in the rat race. The rat race is not owning a home per se. The rat race is not keeping it simple. See, many nomads or people who get into the nomadic life, they think because I get into a vehicle, or even if I start in my car and I'm living this nomad life, I've gotten out of the rat race. No, you haven't. You haven't gotten out of the rat race until you keep it simple, until you stop buying camping gear until you stop, upgrading your vehicle. Until you just stay focused on the simplicity, on self-care, on the management of time, management of resources, your goals. Guys, again, self-care is a full-time job. Physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, taking care of yourself, full-time job. Full-time job. Nursing facilities. Guys, it's a big business. Daycare facilities, big business. Okay. Facilities that take care of other people, big business. Take care of yourself. That's big business. Keep it simple. That's my message in this video. Thank you for watching. Click the thumbs up. Click the blue join button if you'd like to be a member, support the channel, get unlimited access to my live chats, or just to support the channel. I appreciate that. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.